over Phoenix. They put me everywhere they needed me. And yet they would never, in the early days, and when I was over at Balboa Hospital running up and down the coast, Kaneohe as a corpsman, I would grab my good Canon or either my good Pentax. And back in those days, even though they followed me, they would not let me take a photo in California. Now, folks, if I ever write every piece of what's been going on just in my life, there's a lot of things I want to know. And this is the whole thing about curiosity. And I was curious as to who came on because my daughter called about, she was in court today here in Pensacola, Gulf Breeze area, and she's former government or contract or working, undercover. So she had to go to court. So I took that call, if you wondered what happened on that brief spot. And then I went, oh, my God, Stephanie, my person that's talking, and I couldn't get off. She needed to discuss it. And I was caught because she's my daughter, and it was like this was an amazing day.
I didn't leave you dead air for too long, but I thought that I thought that maybe I was off, and so I wanted to make it so you could call me right back if I had gotten kicked off. So that's why I didn't just keep going.
But then this lady came on.
I took the conversation the way it was going and kept it going, but.
Well, I was scared it was somebody with the government, and then she starts saying she doesn't want to tell me who she is, so I'm already paranoid.
Well, now, do you guys ever wonder, I mean, I think that there's a reason why a lot of the people that are contactees and abductees are military. I think that we are being retooled as a race. That we are about to enter the space age right now.
We are
entering the space age. We're about to merge with our artificial intelligences. That's going to be exponential evolutional growth that happens in the human race. And yet here we are, throwing, weaponry at each other, for, a little, difference in political ideas or, different color skin or different religion. Boy, oh boy, we're suddenly at each other's throats. And I think that worries our visitors, that whether they're all, I think that some are dimensional, that some are interstellar. But I do think that it's probably a little bit like the Star Trek world out there where, one race knows another and you have to kind of follow the rules and then you're allowed to be spacefaring. But if you're a danger to everybody, you got to figure they're going to not let you do that,
Well,
and I think that we're to that point.
You're talking truth.
Retooled.
Are you talking truth? Do you think so? Because Jim Mars got pissed off at me because I wouldn't come forward legally, and I still wasn't. My husband and I still, we needed the U.S. With the last time we checked in, we were cleared through the U.S. Treasury. We were hauling U.S. Treasury money and Microsoft laptops, so we didn't need to lose our jobs. And Jim Mars was very insistent and got, talked to Dirk Vanderplug about me writing reality, but like it was not real, but it was real to me. But I wouldn't come forward to him and let him write about me. But Stanton did the same thing. Stan Friedman, we talked. It's on my AT&T bill for years, And he and I talked about doing a book as soon as he got finished with Kathy out of New York. His, I knew he had somebody in New York helping him. But I did put some of the stuff just to sort of let people know, because he and I worked on a case. Earl, one of the first cases was the Jesse Marcel case. And I promised Jesse Marcel I wouldn't give up on that. And the Smithsonian, Jesse Marcel.
Denise Marcel is a dear friend of mine. Denise is a good friend.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine, but I've never talked to her. But she is the daughter of Jesse Marcel III, is our second.
Her second. Her Jesse Marcel first was her grandfather. Yeah. Yeah, wonderful family.
Well, she may not know I met her grandfather. I don't know. She and I have never talked. I'll have to have her on the show. What do you think? You can ask her if you decide to come back. But remember now, people listen all over the world, and we never know who's calling in. But I've never let somebody interrupt an interview I was doing like this. So, Miss 619 San Diego, are you going to give me a name to go by? Because I'm here all the time. And you must be a BTR person because you found me. Blog Talk Radio is what I mean, right?
Sorry, I had muted myself. Sarah. My name is Sarah.
Okay, good, Sarah. I like that. My grandmothers both were Sarahs. Is it S-A-R-A-H or S-A-R-A?
S-A-R-A-H.
Okay, but I don't care if that's your stage name when you sing or play. I just need something because, there's a lot
Sarah,
of Sarahs.
You still sing and stuff? Or you still do your music out in San Diego area?
No, I have
music?
not. I've taught.
Oh, okay.
I've taught since I've been here, but I've had some health issues. I had a stroke and.
I'm sorry.
No heavy health issues. But...
Yeah, it's been a hard year too for anybody who is a professional musician. Everybody had a very difficult year. Now finally people are playing out again. I just, the last year I pretty much just spent doing my UFO work. There was no place to play and nobody to play my guitar to except my wife and my cats. But I kind of took a little break.
Let me ask you a quick question. I saw To Tell the Truth last night, and RuPaul was on there and asked somebody that's seen the Kim Kardashian went with this kid to the prom, and he was on the To Tell the Truth. But she asked him what record they danced to, and he looked at her, one of them, the third one, like, record? And then the other girl next to him said CD, and then I think the other guy said 8-track, the guy that is the host. I can't remember his name. But now I went out of business with Steve Jobs, put me out of the dollar. I guess he saved the day because at least we could sell a song that you heard on the radio today, me singing. But that I paid like a whole lot of money in Nashville to record these things, right? But now the kids don't use DVDs. And I remember people coming over and giving me, like my family, I said, I don't want these damn things. Stop dropping them off at my house. They were recording them on something and leaving me with old country DVDs and things. What do they use now? Please tell me.
Now people just record files and just send the computer file to you. That's what I have. I'll do a studio session. I've been working on a new project but it will probably never go on a CD. It'll just be a download. A lot of
these MP3s is what I do. I do MP3,
that's the MP3. That's what I do too. It's an MP3 now.
So it's all computer now.
Yeah. It's
and then live streaming
services.
It's all data. Yeah. It's all data, right?
Yeah. They kind of ruined the music industry. I hate to say it, but they got out of their control. Yeah, it got out of their control. There used to be the A&R, artist repertoire guys, and you had certain labels that were important, and now everything's done in people record their albums on their own computers. Yeah. I have a guy who's got a proper studio that I go to, but even he uses Pro Tools and does it winds up.
That's what I
use. Up being studio stuff.
That was 2004. So they still got a Pro Tools, or I'm sure it's upgraded.
Yeah, Pro Tools. It's upgraded much. It's much better and easier than it was in 2004. But I figure I only have so many neurons. And most of my neurons are all sucked up into UFOs and books and doing PowerPoint presentations and stuff. So when I do music, I want to go to a studio where I've got a proper engineer and somebody who's doing that for me.
Well, at least you got people to talk to you. I have to separate all my developer work. I've been with GoDaddy since 2004. So how many years is that? What is this, 21? I get lost in my multi-phase spacing up there, running around in
17 years.
How many?
GoDaddy, 17 years, I think, yeah.
Okay, well, I started with them in '98 actually, but we had different files with Wild West, and then I got in a big argument in Owensboro with my guy that was running my computers, and they blew it. They took my entire computer and wouldn't give it back, and they had me, and I think the government took our hardware. It was me, and do you know the name? Now, you're in the UFO biz. Surely you know the beginning story with Don Elkins and in Kentucky, where it all started a long time ago, right, in the UFO business with Kentucky. Don Elkins, you remember him?
Sure, yeah.
Carla McCarty, but what was Carla's name before it was Jim McCarty and her got married? I can't remember Carla.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
She was
There's a lot
back
of
when
people.
I was
A lot of
she
people.
And I were talking. She and I. Oh my God, that girl! She bothers me. Carla was over at where was she? Was on the phone when they were talking to Steve. This UFO business, folks, you got to realize everybody knows everybody, and don't kid yourself if you think they don't. Yeah. But we knew everybody was everybody. And I was in Hawaii, and I was in Kentucky, and my husband did a 20-year back program. I guess I did, because they had me on the government contract. Sarah, they moved me from, oh, my God, people. All of a sudden, I've gotten really famous in June. I told the universe I would come back with you, Earl, and come back on here and get busy again. And everybody in the UFO business is calling me now, so... If they know
I'm glad to hear that. Good.
Well, do you mind coming back? Because we're out of time, and I didn't know Sarah was going to come on.
Sure, I'll come back sometime. It was fun. I enjoyed talking with you guys.
All right. Well,
I loved our call-in here. It was wonderful.
Oh, you do? You like Sarah? You like call-in?
Sarah was great. I love that, actually.
Oh, well, maybe Sarah will come back next Monday.
Yeah, next time you can have Q&A at the end if you want, because I love doing that. You know, I like people. I like answering their questions, and that's kind of what I do. So.
Okay, well, if you're into UFO Talk, we can do it next Monday, folks. Same time. I'm on every day, 4 to 6. Now,
I'll have to look at my calendar. We'll figure out another time. But thank you very much for having me, TJ.
Back, Earl. And Sarah, if you want to come back.
And again, for anybody, MUFON.com. That's if you see a UFO or you've had an experience, go to MUFON.com. You can see Report a UFO. You can click on that, or if you've had a face-to-face or an abduction happen with a non-human entity, you can go to the Experiencer Research Team page that tells a little bit about all of us that work in the ERT. And you can there's a questionnaire that you can fill out that's 30 questions. And if you want to get a hold of a ERT person like myself, who isn't going to be judgmental but is going to listen to your strange story, because they're all strange. I'll tell you that right now. There's no such thing as a normal meeting with a non-human entity. It's always weird, I mean, they may look like humans, but there's going to be high strangeness involved, and that's a part of it, And I do think that we're being changed, retooled as a species. I think that's the main objective. I think that there's other motives out there. Some not so good, some are better than others. But I think that the overriding objective is that they're trying to get us to think in a quantum way instead of in a Newtonian way. That they want us to see our universe as more interactive than we think it is.
Well, folks,
anyway, MUFON.com.
If you want to be like
thank
Earl,
you so much.
Well, Earl, I think you've done a good job, and I do want to have you back and to learn more about you and what you're doing to help people. And like you said, good voice and a caring soul. And you not knowing that we were going to have a call-in or we were going to have all so much trouble. But now remember, Earl, I told you, I'm just going back to business, coming out of retirement, going back, online. I've had this show for 9 years, but I'm going to use it to my advantage to let people talk about all the change. And, consciousness is the big deal, folks. But I run a company, TJ Morris Agency, and I have ACIRradio.com. I put Earl's page over. What?
Up, your phone is